The midpoints are the point in the middle. So divides the line segment into two segments that have the same length. The midpoint is the point in the middle. Divides it into two segments that have the same length. Then if there is more than just a point, if it's like a line, like we have right here, we have line L going through it. If that's what goes through the midpoint and cuts it in half, that's called the bisector. If it does the cutting in half, it's called the bisector. So the segment bisector is a line, a ray, or anything else that passes through the segment, through the midpoint of the segment. So if it passes through the midpoint, and it's a bisector, the segment bisector. So these little marks right here, they're called tick marks. They're used to show that things have equal length. If they don't have those marks, then they don't necessarily have equal length. So here, PM is the same length as MQ. They are same length, so they have those tick marks, which means M is the midpoint. Since line L goes through the midpoint, it is a bisector. It bisects the segment PQ. So you can use a compass to construct a bisector. So with your compass, you put the point of the compass on point A. And then you open up your compass, you stretch it out just more than half. So just kind of guess it. I like to go about 3/4 of the way because that's always more than half. And you're going to draw an arc on both sides. So we're going to do one arc up at the top and one arc down below. Or you can just make an entire, pretty much like half a circle. If you don't want to pick up your compass, you can just do one big half circle. Now, the important part is when you move your compass, don't adjust it. You have to keep that exact same length. And move your compass over to the other side. And you're going to do the exact same thing. You could just do the arcs if you want. Or you could do the entire half a circle. Either way. So what you end up with is these 2 points at the top and at the bottom, where those two arcs, where all those arcs intersected. If you connect those with a straight line, you just made a bisector, meaning it passes right through the middle. It means the length on the left side is the same as the length on the right side. And you can check that really easy with a compass to see if they're the same length. Remember, you can compare lengths by stretching out your compass. There it is, same thing. Both sides are the same length. We found the midpoint. We made a bisector. You get the two arcs up at the top and at the bottom, then you use your straight edge to connect them, and that's how you get the point. So to make the bisector here, we're going to start by putting our compass on one of the endpoints, stretching it more than halfway, and making a semicircle. Or you can just do the arcs up at the top and the bottom. Do the same thing from the other endpoint without adjusting your compass. I just did on accident. So now you get the 2 points, one up top, one down below. And if you connect those 2 points, connect those 2 points with a straight edge, then you've made the bisector, and therefore that point of intersection is the midpoint. This is the same thing, we're just making the midpoint, but we need, there's just extra information. So if you're going to construct the midpoint of xy, xy is down here, and label the midpoint M, and then also bisect xz, such that the two sides are congruent, and label that P. So we need to do two different midpoints here of xy and xz. Put it on x, stretch it more than halfway out, make your semicircle. Do the same thing from the other endpoint, y. To find the midpoint right there. And it says to label that midpoint M. So you need a capital M next to it. Then bisect XZ. So now we're going to do the same thing with the other side. XZ. Okay to move your compass if you need to. If it's not more than halfway, make it sure it's stretched more than halfway. I'm going to change colors this time. Draw your semicircle. And then move it to the other endpoint. And draw the other semicircle. There's the other midpoint. It says such that XP is congruent to PZ, which means this point right here in the middle is P. XP is the same length as PZ. You can put the tick marks on there if you want to. It doesn't say that you need to. It just said label P. So we found both midpoints, we found a bisector. There's our two segments. Everything's labeled like we need.